Hello and welcome to episode 275 of the Daily Sales Message Sales Podcast, where every single day I share a piece of simple and actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff. Today we're talking about value, what something is worth, and you probably know what your product or service, and this is more of a product episode today, just to give you a warning, you probably know what your product or service is worth at the point of sale, but what's it worth thereafter? This is known as residual value. Residual value. What's it worth after it's been bought later down the track? The most common example where this is used very often is in cars. The residual value of a car, because that can be a compelling reason to buy something or to not buy something. If you buy a really fancy car, like a Rolls Royce, for example, sometimes the residual value, what it's worth after you've bought it, can actually be more than what you paid for it due to scarcity and other things. The same goes for works of art and various other things. However, there are other things like equipment where it might not be worth more than you paid for it, but how quickly it depreciates, how quickly it loses value can be a compelling factor for why people may or may not wish to buy it from you. So the question to ask you today, and yet it is more of a product episode than a service episode today, how quickly does your product depreciate, and or what is it worth? Once it's been bought or after a period of time, arbitrary, 6 months, 12 months, 5 years, whatever's appropriate for your offering, what's the residual value? And if it holds a high residual value, if it doesn't really lose too much money, you pay for it and it's kind of worth the same for a little while, that's a really compelling talking point. We need to bring that to the front to our primary messaging and talk about that with people, because residual value essentially means a high residual value, essentially means you're going to lose less money when you buy something, thus it's a safer purchase. That's it for this episode of the Daily Sales Message. Tomorrow in episode 276, I'm going to give you a choice, but I don't want you to choose it. I'm going to give you a choice. I do not want you to choose it. But the irony is, you probably already have chosen it. But there we go. I'll explain more in tomorrow's episode as I get ever more cryptic each time. In the meantime, if you haven't already, hop on over to sellingconfidencescore.com. That's sellingconfidencescore.com. There is a 20 yes-no question 2-minute quiz. It takes you 2 minutes to complete this thing. It will spit out your selling confidence score and, more importantly, identify areas for improvement and give you a personalized, specific action plan for how to improve across 4 areas of sales and selling. So hop on over to sellingconfidencescore.com to grab your score now. That's it for today. I'll catch you tomorrow for another exciting edition of the Daily Sales Message.